So again, welcome to everyone, and I'm so glad that you've taken the time to join us today. So the first update I want to give is, just here we are. Sounds so interesting to me that we're in the first big week of our summer session. For those of you who are faculty, you know that our summer session is quite full. So we have lots and lots of students who would like to be students at Mesa College. So we're really happy that that's happening. So thank you to all the faculty and to Isabel and to the deans and to the chairs and to all the folks that are supporting everyone being in classes. I'd also like to give a really big shout out. I see Allison in my screen here, but our librarians took it upon themselves to create an incredible resource that we will post after this, because we can't post it in chat right now, in terms of some wonderful available kinds of things in the library around Black Lives Matter and racism. And so Allison, I thank you for being proactive and the librarians on that, because it really is a wonderful resource. So exciting to have that as well. Just in terms of our plans to return to campus, we are moving forward with plans, and they are just that right now. And I think Lorenze and the group of folks that have been working on that in terms of safe return to campus. We know that everyone has questions about that. Right now, what we've been able to do is we have several courses that have been approved that were in progress courses from the spring semester that will come back onto campus next week in a very modified, physically distanced way, so that students in a few of our allied health programs and in our culinary arts programs can complete the courses that cannot be completed in any other modality. So we will be doing that. And again, I thank Jacqueline and Lorenze and all the deans and chairs and faculty that have been working to do that safely. So we hope to have those students finish out their programs, which is really important, obviously, for us. I know we've been getting lots of questions about athletics, and so Isabel, I don't know if you're planning to cover that in your piece, but just to say, we hope to keep our athletes connected to us. We do not know what the fall will bring in terms of being able to get students onto campus and doing their conditioning courses so that they can compete. But we do have a statewide agency, the Community College Athletics Association, that has a plan, and the plan is stepped out over several months and includes a number of different contingencies depending on what our local health departments and county offices are telling us we can tolerate. So those would be sort of the high level kinds of things that I would cover with you. And then I am going to move on and let the vice presidents weigh in with some updates. And so I'm going to jump to Ashanti. You're at the top of my screen. Dr. Hands.
Great. Good afternoon, everybody. So glad that you could join us today. Just want to give you a few brief updates on behalf of our student services team. First, we wanted to start off with some of the work that we're doing to continue dialogues such as the one that we are going to have today. So the state chancellor had a call to action, and one of those was a commitment to hosting a series of dialogues about race. And because equity and excellence is where our heart is, we had already started those processes. So Student Health Services, I believe, was one of the first areas to host a forum. And they've held 2 already. And starting this week, they're going to host forums twice a week through the month of June from 3 to 4 p.m. Monday forums are going to be for all students, and Wednesday forums are going to be for African American or Black students only. And so this information is on social media. District listservs have gone out. And so we encourage you to share this information with our students. This week, our Office of Student Success and Equity and EOPS will also be hosting a forum for students. They're going to target those students who participate and engage in their programs like EOPS, DSPS, former foster youth, etc. We have heard from students that they want their own space to be able to process what is happening. And so we're trying to do that as often as possible. Student Services this week, or June 23rd, next week, we'll be hosting a part 2 of a space to heal, feel, and be real. It's a space that we have created for student services, faculty, staff, administrators, and student workers to be able to dialogue, unpack, and talk about how it is that we move forward as a division. which sounds weird to say. Student Health Services is also doing drop-in for support on Tuesdays from 3 to 3:45. And there's also works with Student Health Services in the loft to begin creating spaces that are unique for staff and faculty as well. So we can expect a lot of opportunities to dialogue and engage. So be sure to check your emails and social media for more information. We did want to provide an update on our CARES Act funding, and this part is in regards to the direct aid for students. So in fall, we were allocated $2.4 million for direct aid for our students, and that would be able to last us for a year. And in spring, we were allocated those funds. So this spring, we were able to award 2,236 students $500 award. So that's over $1 million for students who participated in spring. We are having conversations about what those allocations will look like for summer and again in fall. We are also excited because we received funding from the United Way. So I believe we have about $96,000 for Mesa College. And what's exciting about these funds is that they are for students who were not eligible for CARES Act. So these awards can be awarded up to $200. And so we will have funds for about 480 students. And we are meeting now to discuss what that process will look like for summer. And we're gonna probably prioritize students who were here in the summer and who were taking summer classes and were also here in spring. And then we'll look at students who are taking summer only. So we're gonna be meeting to go through the details. We would expect those applications to come out soon for our students. We also are working very hard to complete to host our commencement ceremony. And so on Friday, July 17th at 10 a.m. is when we are going to launch our commencement ceremony. We are working very hard to provide a very special and unique opportunity for our students to be able to participate, be celebrated, and share this time with their families and friends. We're also hosting a graduation celebration on Wednesday, July 15th, from 9 to 11 a.m. And this is an opportunity for all of the Mesa College community to get involved. So there's going to be an opportunity where graduates are going to be invited to campus. They must remain in their cars, but they will take a loop around campus. We'll have music. And this is where we want you to come in. We want you to sign up. We want you to join us. We're going to have signs. We're going to have giveaways for the graduates. We're going to make it very special. So check your email because there will be more information coming soon. We also are hosting a series of community celebrations. So for our transfer students, we had a wonderful spotlight video that highlighted all of our transfers and the places that they're going. EOPS, our rite of passage for African-American students, our ASA celebration, the variety of community celebrations that are taking place. And then the last thing that we wanted to highlight is that we are still here to meet the basic needs of our students. So we are going to continue to host our mobile drive-through markets on the first Monday and third Thursday of the month. So that means we have one coming up this Thursday. They are by invitation only, but we invite our campus community to help serve as volunteers. So please check your email for more information. There's still lots going on, career chats, sessions to help our transfer students transfer successfully and be able to engage in their new environments. We are busy, we are active, we are engaged, and we are really trying to step up and meet the world and our students where they are and figure out how it is that we can move forward with equity and excellence. So thanks for the opportunity to share.
Thank you, Ashanti. All right, VP Legaspi, would you like to go next?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here with us today. Some quick updates from Administrative Services. As our president mentioned, we're starting the reopening process in phases, and currently it's starting next week. We're excited for the in-progress courses from spring to be able to finish their courses. We'll get more guidance from the statewide chancellor's office later this week or early next on what potential services or classes or planning may look like, and so more to come on that. Currently, we also sent out a survey to all faculty to get your thoughts on how we can support for your prep for fall and or summer, whether you need access to your office or to a classroom or a lab to film, so we're able to help accommodate those. And then also we'll take a look at the hard to convert courses determined for fall that are in the schedule, and then also prioritizing what are the services we want to have back on campus to start to support our students. Again, all in phasing, all in accordance with the CDC and the county health and the state on what is a safe reopening, and also balancing that with how do we support our students. Moving forward to Mesa 2030, our educational and facilities master plan. It is imperative that we still plan for the future. I know it's difficult to see the forest through the trees during these times, but I applaud the college for being able to hold space for both. And so from the IEPI planning that we've done and the visit that we've had from our peers across the state, we've gotten a menu of options, which we will be figuring out how to make sure we include equity and pathways into our educational facilities master plan. And we finished up some interviews in this spring with each department, academic and student services, and then we will be doing more interviews in the fall, maybe on campus, maybe on virtual, but we'll figure out all that as we go. Moving to the budget, the state is to release more information this week about what the budget is for the college and for the state and for the district. As you can imagine, the tax revenues with all of the pandemic, all of us staying at home, we're spending less, people are buying less houses and those sort of things. So there is a less amount of revenue coming in for the state. And so that'll also determine how much we get as a district. And there's still, excuse me, and there's still the question about more federal funds. But with the federal funds that we have gotten, there's the CARES Act, the institutional portion. Ashanti talked about the direct student aid. Excuse me one second. Ashanti talked about the direct student aid, and so we're looking currently at ways to spend and support our students using the Institutional CARES Act funds, and also for where we are considered a minority serving institution and thus have some funds dedicated to that. And so we will be sending out a survey for participation. Lastly, quickly, for construction, K100 is underway. Again, some of our basic needs and our support services for our veterans, the honors program, the STAND Resource Center and English classrooms and more classrooms. That is currently being worked on while we are off campus. And last but not least, I just changed my background so we can see the I&J buildings are completely gone. I don't know if you can see that. So right now we are working on what the quad will be looking like. A little bit of May gray, June gloom in there for you, but the quad is underway. And again, as you see that there are multiple concerns with the budget, hiring freezes and whatnot, know that the quad, the money that we're spending on the quad is only dedicated directly to facilities and those sort of things. And so that's passed from our general obligation bond prior. And so though we are spending money on the quad, it is not money that could be used elsewhere. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Lorenze. All right, Dr. O'Connor.
Well, hello, everybody. Buenas tardes. I was timing my talk when the drilling outside my window was supposed to stop. And what you know, they just started. Anyway, all right. You're going to see, they're doing work on my front and backyard. You're going to see the same threads throughout the three brief updates. We're talking about coming back to campus, CARES Act, and so forth. Let me start with summer. As Pam said, our summer is in full swing. We have really full classes. We had great demand. I am thrilled beyond belief that we are bringing back our in-progress classes from the spring in culinary arts and the health sciences. The faculty, the classified professionals, along with Jacqueline and Lorenze and others, have been working really hard on the plans. And I know, people kept asking me, so when are we coming back and what's it gonna look like? Well, it's here. We're working really closely together to make sure that we are ready on June 22nd for our students to come back. But it turns out that students are not the only ones going to school in summer. Our faculty are. Part of our planning for this remote teaching included a variety of Friday afternoon meetings. That's what I called them. There were about 35 faculty, deans, classified professionals, and I who met and talked about what does instruction look like coming back. And part of it was in the spring, we sort of closed up shop and went home and did the best we could. Now we have the summer in order to learn and prepare how can we best deliver on online education, right? So there was a certain Mr. Terry Kohlenberg who at the moment was going through the DE certification at the district, and he said, gee, it'd be great if somebody could, support me through the process. And here's where that beautiful Mesa talent and creativity and dynamic thinking comes in, because you have Cara and Katie who said, well, we could help you with that. And they developed a proposal that is called Learning with Buddies, where basically you're enrolled in the DE program at the district, that's level 1, and you get assigned a Mesa buddy. It doesn't have to be in your own discipline, and that is the person who is already well-versed in DE learning and can support you. And then we have a whole cadre of Mesa buddies. And then we have also another level of this program of professional development, which is if you already did all of the above and you still want to start looking at things that faculty were mentioning in those meetings, like, from my equity focus, how can I improve this, that, and the other? So you can dig deeper. This is just the beginning. We want to make sure we continue this and that we extend this opportunity for learning to classified professionals and administrators. We can all learn from it. Fall semester. Okay, I am just delighted to say, and I thought I would not get to say it, the fall schedule is finally done. And by finally, I mean after like 5 or 6 iterations of it, but it's finally done. And what I did was an analysis of, what kinds of delivery modes we have. We have about 75% of the classes completely remote web. And then we have 15 that are face-to-face and 11 that are hybrid, a mixture of remote and on campus. So we are going to, I am in the process of working with deans to figure out how does that schedule look like on the ground in the fall, how can we best support, work with admin services and so forth. And yes, the question of athletics that Pam mentioned, we are waiting for guidance that should be coming out on July 17th. We pushed our fall sport conditioning classes as far down as we could into the summer, starting July 13th. And we continue to plan, we continue to await direction from the state, and we certainly want to support the students, the student athletes through the process. So more to come. We are also looking at, we did a survey of faculty needs in order to support online learning in the fall. Terry Kohlenberg, Tasha Frankie, Tasha, I saw your picture a minute ago, and a variety of chairs put this together. We've been going through the spreadsheet, lots of good information. Now we're starting to set up a process of how do we move from here to actually what we order, have in place, and so forth. The other 2 things or 3 things are a quick update. The first thing is kudos to Jorge Villalobos, Chris Sullivan, Dean Linda Hensley. They have generated what's going to be the envy of the state, and ELAC in ESL, sorry, I'm old-fashioned, ESL placement, self-guided placement tool that includes reading, that includes listening, that is, I want them to share with the field because there is very little that looks anything close to that. We are going to apply it starting in fall. Kudos to the librarians, like Pam said. They took it upon themselves in our commitment to justice and to end racism, and created a fabulous resource for us on Black Lives Matter. And the last thing I want to say is that in the current climate, one of the things that the deans and the faculty leadership, and that is Manuel Velez and Terry Kohlenberg, who attend every instructional dean meeting, we are committed to social justice. And as we take the opportunity over the summer to set up instructional goals for next year, certainly the guidance that we got from the state chancellor on the call to action, we're going to take a good look at what role can instruction play in that advancement of social justice. We look at our curriculum, at our practices, and so forth. So that will be part of our retreat. And other than that, great work. And I'm just really excited that we're moving. It's hard, but we're moving.
Thank you so much, Isabel. I really appreciate it. And again, I apologize that you can't chat or do a Q&A right now because I know you may have questions for folks. But just so we can maximize our time together today, I'm going to go ahead and move on to creating the space that we talked about today.